Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Lido here, and I have my third and final review today. The first two were over two scents that I think can be signature scents, extremely underrated, both from powerhouses, but haven't really gotten the love I think they deserve. Prada Amber Pour Home Intense and Blue Day Chanel. Um, Both are wonderful scents. Neither of them get enough love. Um, both are great signature scents. One for cooler weather, one for all year round. I have both 1.7s, and I'll be in 3.4s the next time because I think they have enough timelessness to them to last the duration of my fragrance journey. So I'll be keeping both of those for a very long time, as far as I can tell. So with that said, I have my third review, and that is coming from the house. Killian. This is a sample pouch that he gave me. Um, this is my third set of samples from Killian, um, and I'll say this: it is my favorite fragrance house. Only problem is I don't own a bottle of any of his fragrances. Sort of like this. I think in my collection now, I don't own a Common or Eminem or couple of other MCs I like out there. Um, Trying to think someone else out there who Nas. I think I got Illmatic still. Outside of that, I don't own any of those guys' CDs, but they're probably my three of my top 10 favorite MCs of all time. For some reason, I just never bought their CDs. I just kind of always bought them in singles. Can't listen to a whole album of Eminem anyway. But that's a different story. Common and Nas I both thoroughly enjoy. Some of my favorite MCs of all time. Um, so Killian is my favorite fragrance house. Yet I do not own a bottle yet. Some of that has to do with price, bottle. Some of that has to do with I don't know which one to get first because I love them so much. Um, my fourth favorite of the house would be in order would be Sweet Redemption number one, uh, Royal Rose Oud number two, Cruel Intentions number three, Incense Oud probably number four, Back to Black five, Prelude six. Of the ones that I would wear. The other ones are just a little too feminine for me, so I wouldn't wear those. But I mean, they are nice fragrances. Love, Beyond Love, those types of fragrances. Anyway, so Killian, which one I'm going to go with? I'm going to go with Back to Black. Um, Back to Black has quite a few notes, so I wrote down the notes that I think are pertinent to this review, and they are saffron, tobacco, um, vanilla, um, raspberry, honey, almond, and patchouli. So there are quite a few more notes than that. It is quite a busy fragrance, though Killian usually doesn't do that. If you look at Sweet Redemption, Prelude to Love, even Straight to Heaven, Taste of Heaven, those guys are limited on the amount of notes they have. Very limited. I mean, 5 to 6 notes, just done so very well. Um, so back to Black. Now, if you've smelled a Killian fragrance, it's sort of like some of the creeds that people talk about that the ambergris type of scent. There's something in each of the Killians, and some of the fragrances have not they don't have the same notes. I mean, if you lay four of them in front of you, there's no overlap between the notes, but there's a vibe in it. I don't know what it is, and they all have that scent. I can't tell you what it is. It's kind of a sweet, oily type of scent, but I just can't tell you what it is. Anyway, so Back to Black. Back to Black would be labeled a gourmand from my perspective. It's not a food gourmand, but it is a gourmand. It is very sweet, um, very dense, and people complain about the longevity, but I've never gotten less than 8 to 10 hours on this thing projecting. So, um, by Killian, if you know about him, he is the predecessor, I guess the male predecessor at least, to the Hennessy cognac family. Dude got a lot of freaking money. And as far as I can tell, he is a down to earth dude. He responds to Facebook posts. He responds personally to emails. He signed a few bottles for Frunkinator and shook hands and took pictures. He goes to each of his, retailers and meets with people and talk with them and sign bottles. Talks about the fragrances, maybe even throwing you a few samples your way. Very, very good dude. Um, Unlike any other fragrance I know. I mean, dude is very personal, very marketable. Kind of has that Mark Cuban. He's like the Mark Cuban of fragrance houses, I guess. I guess if you want to put it in some type of perspective. Anyway, what do you get? So initial spray, you're gonna get. For me, I get raspberry, saffron, some honey, and something else. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of floral, something. The saffron is a floral, but it kind of has this dense, rosy, wild flower smell. So you're gonna get that initial spray, very sweet, and it sweetens up even more. So as it gets more denser, as it starts to dry down, then the almond, the honey, and then the patchouli makes it dense. The raspberry starts to come, but you don't really like if you took a raspberry jam and smelled it, it won't smell like this raspberry. And I think it's just because of the mixture of notes, like the the berryness, the raspberrynesses of it, because raspberry has that unique smell. Really, that it just kind of has this dense berry smell, which sweetens it up. The vanilla makes it sweet. The honey sweetens it up, and then the almond kind of brings this nutty sweet smell to it. And the thing is terrific. Of all the ones now, again, it's number 4 or 5 in my list of favorites. But out of compliments, this one and Cruel Intentions brings me the most compliments. I've yet to solicit a compliment or even a response to Back to Black. Always, what are you wearing? That smells great. All the women say I would wear that. So it's all the women find it feminine, and no one is complaining about, man, that's too sweet for you. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of has. I think it stays sweet. So if you have a problem with sweet fragrances, stay away from Back to Black because it's very sweet. Um, Honey, raspberry, and then the tobacco comes along and just gives it this even more dense. The patchouli, the tobacco, honey, those are my favorite notes. In a fragrance, tobacco, honey, caramel, that type of scent does it for me. I'm a pure Havana is heavenly scent to me. So think of pure Havana almost. Add saffron, add raspberry, add vanilla, some more vanilla and honey. Make it sweeter and less dusty. And man, they can go neck for neck. So overall, wonderful fragrance. 5 out of 5 for me in all categories: projection, sillage, scent, compliment factor, everything. It lacks versatility but you can wear this in warm. It's a winter scent, but you can wear it in the summer without a problem. Love it. Give it a try. I mean, you won't be disappointed. Um, Call any of the Saks Fifth Avenue, and they may mail it to you. Sign up on Facebook for Killian's Inside Group or whatever it's called, Killian Circle, whatever. And they may end up sending. I know he sent an email saying he was sending out 200 more packages of fragrances, for people who signed up. Um, He's getting his nose out there. Great thing about this house, from a niche house, the thing that makes this so much great is that he sells refills for 125 and $70 travel pouches and that type of stuff. So me and you can afford it. Like you and I can afford this. Maybe you can afford stuff anyway, but $300 on a bottle just is hard for me. But 125 for 1.7 ounces is well worth it. You don't have to go crazy on a sprayer with any of his fragrances. 4 sprays tops. You put one on your clothes. You go 3 on the skin, 1 on the clothes. You're gonna go all day. It's gonna project all day. Um, Again, 5 out of 5. I love this house. My favorite fragrance house, the most accessible fragrance house, the most marketable fragrance house. No one has more gorgeous bottles, more gorgeous presentation. No one has that in your face type of marketing. No one sends you samples like this guy. Killian is the guy, man. I hate to use the word, but bromance is probably close enough for me, man. Likes this guy, love his fragrances. You can't go wrong with him. Peace.